Listen, brother, let me take a guess. Lately, you've been feeling overwhelmed, haven't you? Your mind races at night. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every mistake or what might go wrong. You tell yourself to stop. You try deep breaths. But that heaviness in your chest, in your gut, it clings to you like a shadow that won't let go. Stress, unease, fear. By day, you put on a strong face, but deep inside, a silent battle rages. You're not alone. Truth is, most of us carry burdens heavier than we show. We worry about money, relationships, the future, what others think of us. We plan every detail, try to control every outcome, yet still feel like we're falling short. So, what do? You might be surprised by the answer. What if the solution to your worries isn't in some modern app or therapy session, though both can help, but in ancient wisdom over 2,000 years old? I'm talking about Stoicism, a philosophy practiced by Roman emperors, warriors, slaves, and scholars. And here's the thing, it still works today. Back then, just like now, life was full of uncertainty. They faced wars, betrayal, illness, heartbreak. They couldn't control the chaos around them, but they learned to master their own responses. This video will teach you 8 Stoic habits to stop worrying, not just briefly, but deeply, meaningfully. These aren't quick fixes. They're a shift in how you think. Ancient tools to build inner peace in a world that tries to tear it down. Don't worry. This isn't some dry lecture. You don't need a philosophy degree to get it. Everything here will be practical, clear, and relatable. Whether you're a father, a leader, or just a man trying to navigate life, there's something here for you. Let me share a quick story before we dive in. Years ago, I was stuck, completely overwhelmed. I'd check my phone 80 times a day, refreshing emails, chasing validation, lost in overthinking. I thought worrying was my duty, but really, it showed I didn't trust myself. One night, I stumbled across a quote from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who wrote during wars and plagues. His words hit me like a thunderbolt. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It was a wake-up call. I'd spent years trying to control the uncontrollable, never mastering my own mind. That's when things changed. I studied Stoicism, practiced its habits, and reshaped how I faced stress. Here's the best part. You don't need to overhaul your life to find peace. You just need to shift how you see it. These 8 habits will show you how. We'll go through each one, with quotes from real Stoics and examples of how these habits help not just ancient philosophers, but men like us today. Men like you and me. This isn't just a video, it's a conversation. Take a deep breath. You're not broken. Worrying doesn't make you weak, but you're strong enough to change how you respond. That's what we'll do together. Do me a favor if this resonates. Comment below. I choose peace over control. If this hits home, hit like, comment, share, and subscribe. And drop your thoughts as we go. I read every comment. Let's get started. First, master the art of premeditation. Let me ask you, do you ever worry about things that haven't happened? Of course, every man does. We imagine the worst. A breakup, losing a job, public humiliation, illness. Your body reacts as if it's already real. Anxiety takes hold. But the Stoics had a powerful tool, premeditatio malorum, or preparing for the worst. Seneca said, "He who foresees coming evils robs them of their power in the present." This practice might sound grim, but it's the opposite. It's not about feeding fear, it's about arming yourself. Each morning, a Stoic asks, what could go wrong today? What challenges await? What insults might come? What losses could I face? By calmly picturing the worst, they strip away its power before it arrives. They make peace with it before it shows up. Here's how you apply it now. Before a big meeting, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And how would I handle it with strength and composure before a major decision? Ask, if I lose everything, what do I still have within me? Before starting your day, ask, what might test my patience? Who might provoke me? How will I respond like a Stoic? Not a slave to emotion. Worry comes from the unknown, but when you've rehearsed the battle in your mind, you stand firm. You may still feel worry, but it won't own you. You've practiced dignity, restraint, inner calm. That makes you stronger than 99% of men who stumble blindly into life, hoping for peace without preparing for war. So, starting today, before your next challenge or the start of your day, take 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Calmly imagine what could go wrong, and quietly affirm, I'm ready. That's the Stoic's strength. It's not pretending bad things won't happen. It's preparing so they no longer control you. Second, practice the control test. Have you ever stressed over things beyond your reach? The weather, others' opinions, the past, the economy, or someone not texting you back? We've all done it. The more you focus on what you can't control, the more powerless you feel. This is where one of Stoicism's greatest tools shines, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a towering Stoic philosopher, said, some things are within our control, others are not. That simple truth is the key to peace. Stoics believe everything falls into 2 categories. First, what you can control: your thoughts, actions, reactions, and values. Second, what you can't: others, outcomes, the past, most of the future. Most men waste 90% of their energy on the second group, wondering why they're anxious, drained, and disempowered. But a Stoic warrior redirects that energy. When criticized, a Stoic doesn't obsess over the words, he focuses on his response. Facing uncertainty, he doesn't try to predict the future, but steadies his mind. Betrayed, he doesn't drown in pain, but upholds his character. That's the control test. Ask yourself whenever worry strikes, is this within my control? If not, let it go. If it is, focus only on what you can do. Here's how to build this habit. When your mind spirals, pause and ask, can I control this? If not, picture dropping it like a stone into the sea. It's gone. Then ask, what can I control right now? And act. For example, someone insults you online. Can you control their words? No. Can you control whether you stoop to their level or stay composed? Yes. Or maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Can you control their decision? No. Can you sharpen your skills and try again? Yes. When you live this way, something remarkable happens. Your mind becomes lighter. your emotions more efficient, your spirit stronger. You stop wasting energy on invisible walls and focus on doors that open to opportunity. Anxiety fades not because life gets easier, but because your mind grows tougher. That's the Stoic path. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. I want you to leave this affirmation in the comments. I control my actions, not the world. Third, guard your mind by limiting inputs. Be honest. How often does your anxiety come not from your life, but from what you see, hear, or absorb? A news headline, a toxic friend ranting about politics, a social media post making you feel less than. Much of your stress is imported, not homegrown. Stoics were deliberate about what they let into their minds. Seneca warned, surround yourself with those who lift you higher and welcome those you can improve. This applies not just to people, but to everything you consume. You can't fill your mind with noise and expect to find peace. This habit is powerful. Limit your inputs. Treat your mind like a sacred fortress. Here's how: unfollow social media accounts that stir anxiety, anger, or envy. Cap news consumption at 5 minutes daily. Choose your sources wisely. No endless scrolling. Distance yourself from those who complain, gossip, or spread fear in your life. Curate a digital world that strengthens you. Feed your mind with wisdom, resilience, and clarity, not chaos. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about preserving your energy. Stoics saw the mind as a garden. Let weeds overrun it, and you'll never see peace bloom. Here's why this works. Anxiety needs fuel to thrive. Starve it, and it withers. You don't have to react to every opinion. You don't need to absorb every story. You don't have to carry pain that isn't yours. A calm mind isn't passive, it's protected. Build a mental gate. For every piece of information, ask, does this make me stronger or weaker? If it weakens you, it doesn't deserve your attention. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. But if your reactions are shaped by what you let in, control the input, control the output, control your peace. Fourth, reflect daily. Picture this each night. Instead of scrolling endlessly or stewing in stress, you sit quietly and ask, how did I live today? This is a cornerstone Stoic habit. They believed the strongest way to banish anxiety is to review your actions daily, not to judge, but to understand. Seneca wrote, when the light goes out and my wife falls silent, I review my day, reflecting on what I did and said. Think about it, how much of our anxiety comes from unprocessed thoughts, moments we don't understand, emotions we ignore, mistakes we don't learn from. Instead of pushing yesterday aside and rushing into tomorrow, Stoics face it. They ask, was I courageous today? Did I let external things steal my peace? Did I say something I regret? Did I stay true to my values? Through daily reflection, Stoics don't just recall events, they rewire their minds. This habit makes you a mental warrior over time. You start noticing patterns: what triggers you, what drains you, what lifts you. You become more aware of your reactions, more disciplined with emotions, more anchored in your principles. Here's how to do it. Each night, take 5-10 minutes to sit quietly and ask, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? Don't beat yourself up, just observe. If you can, Keep a journal. Let it be your mirror. Had a bad day. Good. Now you know where to grow. Anxiety grows when we run from the past. But facing it with honesty and calm strips its power. Marcus Aurelius did this every night in his meditations. Writing for himself, not the world. He wrote to stay grounded, humble, and on course. You can do the same. The reward: you go to bed with clarity and wake up with purpose. Over time, your mind stops spinning because reflection keeps you steady. A steady man isn't swept away by fear. Fifth, amor fati. Love your fate. Don't just accept it. Let me ask you straight. How much of your worry comes from fighting reality? You didn't want that relationship to end. You didn't want that opportunity to slip away. You didn't want that bad news. So what happens? You wrestle with the truth. You replay it in your head. Question it. Wish it were different. Slowly, that resistance turns to anxiety, sorrow, even bitterness. But the Stoics had a profound practice called amor fati, loving your fate. It's not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as your path, not a punishment. Nietzsche, inspired by Stoicism, called amor fati the formula for human greatness, wishing nothing to be different. Not forward, not backward, not ever. Sounds impossible. How do you love pain? It's not about enjoying suffering, but seeing it as a forge that shapes you. You don't choose the breakup, but it might help you rediscover yourself. You don't choose failure, but it could teach you humility and grit. Stoics see everything, even tragedy, as fuel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The problem is part of the journey. That detour is the real path. Here's how to practice this. When something bad happens, pause, breathe, say, amor fati. Then ask, how can this shape me? What does it teach me? How do I use it instead of letting it control me? Then move forward. Strong, focused. You'll notice something powerful. Worry turns to curiosity. Pain becomes wisdom. And life, even at its worst, gains meaning. This isn't just positive thinking, it's Stoic strength. A man who loves his fate, no matter its form, becomes untouchable. Sixth, live fully in the present. Don't let the future steal today. Most of your anxiety isn't about what's happening now, but what might happen later. You worry about getting sick, losing your job, failing in love, or something going wrong next week, next month, next year. But right now, in this moment, you're breathing, alive, safe. This is where Stoics offer a healing habit presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. Think on that. Not the past, not the future, just this moment." He also said, "Don't let the future distract you. You'll face it when it comes, with the same reason you wield today." Stoics believed true strength lies in living fully now. The past is gone. The future isn't here. Only the present is yours. Anxiety hijacks your mind, pulling you into a time that doesn't exist. But when you train yourself to return to the present, you reclaim your power. Here's how to practice it. Throughout the day, ask, where am I right now? Am I here or lost in what might happen? When anxiety creeps in, ground yourself in your senses. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Listen to the sounds around you. Focus on your breath. Create small moments of awareness when you sip coffee, walk, or talk. Be here, not ahead or behind. Presence isn't just a state of mind, it's a weapon for your soul. When you live fully in this moment, anxiety starts to dissolve. You realize there's no catastrophe right now, no enemy in this moment, just this. And it's enough. Stoicism isn't about pretending bad things won't happen. It's about training to face challenges when they arrive, not battling them 100 times in your head. Make this your daily mantra. Now is enough. Because in this moment, you're alive, and that's your strength. If you're ready to let go of the past, comment, I live fully in the present. 7th, choose to endure with purpose. Here's a paradox. One of the best ways to stop fearing the future is to practice discomfort now. Why? Because when you're used to hardship, the future's threats lose their sting. Seneca, a wealthy Stoic, would sleep on the floor, eat simple food, and wear rough clothes on purpose. He said, set aside days to live with the barest essentials. Dress plainly and ask, is this what I feared? Why would a powerful man do this? He knew that if you can handle chosen hardship, unexpected hardship won't break you. Anxiety feeds on unfamiliar pain. But if you've trained with discomfort, hunger, rejection, failure, it no longer scares you. This isn't about self-punishment, it's preparation. Here's how to practice it. Skip a meal and feel your strength in hunger. Take a cold shower to prove you can handle discomfort. Say no to small habits to forge your will. Wake up early, even when it's tough. Tackle the hard task first. Each time you do this, you prove you're stronger than your comfort zone. When you see yourself this way, anxiety shrinks. Life will bring storms. But if you've trained in the rain, you won't panic when it pours. This habit's deeper beauty is this: when you stop chasing comfort at all costs. You stop fearing discomfort. That's freedom. A Stoic doesn't seek a life without problems. He builds a mind that can face any. So challenge yourself. Break your comfort zone. Live tougher today to live freer tomorrow. The less you fear discomfort, the less you fear life. If you're walking through a storm, comment, I grow stronger through challenges. 8th, align your life with virtue, not outcomes. Most men miss this. When trying to stop worrying, they fixate on results, not character. They ask, will this succeed? Will people like me? What if I fail? Since outcomes are uncertain, anxiety creeps in. But Stoics teach something deeper. Focus on being a good man, not just looking good. Act rightly, not for the end result. Epictetus said, don't demand things happen as you wish them to happen as they do, and you'll live well. What does this mean? Live by your values: honesty, courage, discipline, compassion, and you've already won. No matter what the world says or how things turn out. Anxiety comes from chasing externals: money, fame, status, approval. Peace comes from living true to who you are, regardless of outcomes. That's why Stoics like Marcus Aurelius valued integrity over perceived success. He wrote, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Here's how to apply this. Before acting, don't ask, will this make me win? Ask, is this right? Before a big risk, don't ask, will I look foolish if I fail? Ask, will I grow? Whatever happens, when you worry about others' opinions, ask, did I act with integrity? If yes, you've succeeded. You don't need to control what others think. You don't need to control the final score. You only need to control your choices when your soul is clean. Your sleep is peaceful. When your actions are guided by virtue, you live without fear. That's why Stoics weren't obsessed with ambition. They didn't chase fame. They wanted to be strong, simple, wise men. Doing what's right, even when no one saw, that's the true source of peace. You can't control life's ending, but you can always control how you live it. Shift your focus from attention to authenticity, from outcomes to effort, from fear to virtue, and watch anxiety fade. Nothing can disturb a man who knows he's lived with honor. If virtue guides you now, comment, I live by virtue, not fear.